Make sure to subscribe to Apillow on YouTube. Very cool content creator.
Warner Bros. Discovery is arguably one of the biggest entertainment companies on the planet. And they recently got into some pretty hot water that got them to completely reverse their action, and now they have the ire of a United States congressman. So what Warner Bros. Discovery has been doing has pretty well encapsulated here. So after news of WB shelving Coyote vs. Acme broke, several filmmakers instructed their reps to cancel many meetings they had on the books with Warner Bros. It is weird to talk with music in my ears. It's messing up my voice, but this is one of my favorite Zelda songs, so of course I'm going to listen to it when it comes up. So basically what Warner Bros. Has been doing is they will produce a movie, the whole movie, and then they will just not release it because it's a tax write-off. It is a tax write-off to have a movie and not release it. So it's like technically not a product, it's just a loss of money. So as you may be saying, this does one of two things. If you're an artist out there, you know just how devastating it is to lose progress on a work of art. If you're drawing on the wrong layer or coloring on the wrong layer, that can devastate people. I know people who have, and I have personally walked away from drawings that I was doing for days just because I decided to color something on the wrong layer on accident. Like that's how seriously people take their crafts and making sure that they're seen out. And this is really unpopular among artists and filmmakers especially, because what do you want to do if you're a filmmaker? You want to make films, and you want people to see the things that you make. So, as it says here, several filmmakers instructed their representatives to cancel meetings they had on the books with Warner Bros. Because if I'm making a movie for you, and you're canceling my movie when it's fully complete, and now no one gets to see the work of art that me and people who I've come to become friends with over the course of the year or two that we've been making this movie, I'm not going to work with you. So that's one thing that's been biting them, that caused them to reverse this decision, I believe. But here comes another thing that's going to be coming in to bite them, and I forgot to take chat back up. This is another thing that's coming to bite them, though. This is Joaquin Castro, who is a House of Representatives member from Texas. The @WBD, so Warner Bros. Discovery, tactic of scrapping fully made films for tax breaks is predatory and anti-competitive. As the Justice Department and the FTC revise their antitrust guidelines, they should review this conduct. As someone remarked, it's like burning down a building for the insurance money. And I do think this is something that will be seen. Because one thing about big movies is that big movies make big money. And big money produces taxes. It produces a lot of taxes. What goes into making movies gives the government a lot of money. You both have the income tax coming off of the people getting paid to make the movie. You have the tax being made off of the movie sales. You have the tax being made off of like sales tax from things that people buy at movie theaters. You have all of this stuff compounding. That is a lot of money for the government that they're missing out on because of what's happening with this shelving of movies thing. So what's going to happen going forward, and it isn't just movies, shows have suffered this. There have been plenty of shows, cartoons in particular, this has happened with since David Zaslav came to power at Warner Bros. Discovery. And I'm gonna tie this into politics, do trust. I mean, I already am, but like plenty of shows have been nuked by this. Infinity Train, great show, great reviews, massive fandom who loved the show, and it got canceled early. It didn't get to see its final 5th season. And people were like, okay, but then it got taken off of HBO Max for a tax write-off. There's no other way you can legally watch Infinity Train now. I believe you can't even buy it. Like you can't even buy it. They just completely removed it as a tax write-off. That goes for shows like OKKO, which I believe still survives on Hulu. That goes for shows like Summer Camp Island, that got removed too. A bunch of shows have just been removed from anywhere you can watch it legally for tax write-offs. And as Representative Castro remarks, this is exactly like building something just to burn it right back down so that you can claim the insurance money. This is exactly what this is. So I wouldn't be shocked if the government does take action against actions like this, because on its face value, this is very clearly the grift, allegedly. I'm calling a grift because in my personal humble opinion, I believe it is a grift. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily true. Please do not sue me. But to me, that's what this grift seems like. It does seem like just building something to never release it so that you don't have to pay taxes. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And then again, the other thing that they have harming them here in the situation is that they're ruining their reputation when it comes to talent. This is something that even Disney has been facing too, not just Warner Bros. Discovery, but Disney too. Because as I said earlier, if you're a creative, one of the things that helps creatives the most are credits in films. Credits in films, credits in TV shows. The more credits you have, the easier it is for you. Well, not necessarily the easier, but the more you have on your resume, basically. A credit is just a way to essentially prove pretty easily, I did this. I was a sound technician on this. You can hear some of my work here. Or I storyboarded on this. Or I wrote this. Yada yada yada. Credits are extremely important for artists, and whenever you don't release the piece of media that they help create, one, you're both depriving them of being able to see people enjoying something that they worked on, which is depressing, but you're also depriving them of future work, because now it seems like they have a gap in their resume. Like, what were you working on at this time? Well, I was working on this movie, but it never released, so you don't have a credit for it that I can show you. It's disgusting. Don't forget Netflix. Netflix has been doing this too. Netflix has a really bad tendency of canceling their shows entirely too early. With them though, with them taking off shows, they have been doing that with their Netflix originals, I believe, one or two of them. I haven't seen it as severely from them, mostly because Netflix does seem to take a more creator-friendly method than companies like Warner Bros. Discovery and Disney have been doing, for some reason. But in this era that we currently have when it comes to media, I am genuinely of the opinion that we're going to see a lot more rights coming out for people in the field. If anyone remembers when the show The Owl House ended, a lot of people were talking about there needing to be a new deal for animation. Animation workers, heavily underpaid. Their shows are getting canceled early. They can't really jump from project to project. Animation became increasingly disrespected on media when Warner Bros. Merged with Discovery and David Zaslav came to power. Famously, he removed a bunch of cartoons, like some of the ones that I mentioned earlier, to try to focus on kids' content, which they are now no longer doing. And also prioritizing live TV. There were calls for a new deal for animation. And when that happened, and last year, when that show ended, it seemed like it was unfeasible, but look at all the strikes that we've had. Look at the writer's strike. Look at the Actors Guild strike. I genuinely do believe that we are entering a new era for union growth in the United States of America. We see this with Teamsters, we see this with springing up Amazon unions, with Starbucks unions, and those types of places, with increasing membership in auto manufacturers unions, etc. I think people are finally becoming sick and tired of the abuses that they faced at their corporations. They're sick and tired of being overworked, underpaid, and the things that they have put their hard work into never seeing the time of day, never seeing the light of day. And I honestly do believe that what we're going to see over time are things fixing themselves. That's what we're probably going to be seeing soon over time. So I'm happy about that. I'm really happy about that, because I want workers to be properly compensated for what they do, to get the credits for what they do, and to not have their work insulted by these big corporations who just want a tax break. Yeah, kind of a feel bad story, but also a feel good story, because things are moving in a positive direction, I believe. But regardless, if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you know whenever I upload a new one. Channel's been popping off recently. We've jumped almost 300 subscribers in the span of like 3 weeks, which is insane. It's insane, and I can't thank y'all enough. You can join the Discord down below so that you know whenever I do one of these live streams that I record these segments off of. They're pretty fun things to do. And you can also follow me on Twitter, link down below as well, and email me if you want to shoot me an email. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. Gotta hit the stop recording button.